We're back on the Lobo Coaches Show from UPublic Television. I'm your host, Robert Portnoy. Head coach Craig Neal's alongside. It's time for our I Associates of New Mexico feature of the week, and it is your all Mountain West Player of the Year guard, Kenndal Williams. Kenndal has had an unbelievable season, Coach Neal, and an encore season to a Player of the Year campaign where he was the best guy in the league, and you've said pretty much from the get-go. Look at those numbers right there, 17.6 points per game, 3.5 rebounds, nearly 5 assists. He's having a better year this year.
Yeah, he's averaging about 4.5 points more than he did last year. And not only that, he's come up big in the UNLV game when we couldn't get Alex going because of foul trouble, couldn't get Cam really going. Cam was having an off night, and he comes out with 29 points. Then last night against a team that's 5th or 6th in the country, really unselfish. Really sacrificed for his teammates, ended up with 10 and 7, but made big baskets, had 2 big threes, and just set the table for a lot of guys with 7 assists. And he's so mature now as a senior that he knows how the game flow's going and what he has to do to make sure his team wins. And I think that's been the key to our success this year.
There it is, your I Associates of New Mexico look behind the scenes. We saw that fast break dunk right there. You mentioned one of the 2 big threes was in that highlight reel. And another thing that you pointed out with all of his best performances throughout the year, this one, the 7 assists, just 1 turnover. When he's been on his game, he plays so clean this year. He's so smart.
Well, especially for 1 turnover against a team that presses the whole game. So we put the ball in his hands a lot last night, more so than we usually do, just because he's hard to trap, he's hard to give it up, and he doesn't turn the ball over. At least he hasn't this year. Which has been really one of our keys to our success is our turnover ratio. We're not turning the ball over. If we can keep it under 12 every game, we got a shot.
You mentioned that Kenndal was on the ball offensively maybe more often than usual just because of their press and how good he was handling it. I thought one of the other keys to the game was Hugh Greenwood was so good on Xavier Thames that they took him off the ball. I couldn't believe that.
Well, it's because we went no help. I mean, that's part of a scouting report, and when you go no help and try to keep it out of somebody's hands, it's a lot easier to guard him. And Hugh did an unbelievable job because Hugh knows what we want when we go no help, and no help is when they give it up, you don't let them get it back. And unless you prepare for it, unless you prepare your team for that situation with your best player, it's not hard to execute. And we were very fortunate that Hugh did a great job and Kenndal did a good job on him, and our team had good team defense. So that was a good thing.
Speaking of team defense, this is something else that you mentioned briefly. Expand on it. Deshaun Delaney's length, his athleticism, all those things, even with the toe.
Right.
The way that he was able to guard J.J. O'Brien, you said that's a guy that's kind of been a thorn in your side.
Well, he's been a problem for us because he's been a matchup problem. When he plays the 4, he was a matchup because he was too good with the ball for our 4 guys. He's too big for our guards. And then Deshaun and Arthur down the road, and maybe Devin Williams and even Pancake, they give us bigger guards that give those guys a matchup. We can match those guys up, and Deshaun's definitely done that with his athletic ability and strength. So that's been a big key for us this year, is having that other guy that can guard a bigger wing.